But anyway, so on that note, we're trying to make it a quick meeting tonight. I don't think we have a lot to cover. We've done most of our due diligence on every item. I think there was 2 more items that were mentioned to me, but at this point, I want to call the meeting to order, and it is at 6:59, 1 minute ahead of time.
I second.
Alrighty. Present is Dean, Rick,
Bonnie McCarthy.
Bonnie, and Town Administrator Mike Maresco, and myself, Jack Griffin. So Bonnie sent out today old minutes. I looked at them, they were fine by me.
Okay, I started working on the other one, so I'll have those finished up
Did
shortly.
you guys get a chance to look at those? Dean, get a chance?
Yeah, sure, they look good.
They look good, okay.
That was awesome,
Well,
Dean.
thank you for the vote of confidence, Mr. Scrivener.
Listen, I
just
know.
wanna check the
they look
dates.
good.
I believe it was June
That's right.
17th, and I have the 8/25, sorry.
That's okay, that's why I wanna,
I'm pretty good, I'm only one, I'm caught up, I feel like.
June 17th.
June 17th, okay.
So I'm looking for approval of the June 17th minutes.
Second. Approve.
Great, all in favor?
Thank you.
Aye,
Aye,
aye, aye, okay, thank you.
awesome.
Review several items.
I'll send those to Nerese and Terry Wendy.
Say it again?
I'll send them to Nerese.
Okay,
Casper,
yes, so they can get
Terry.
posted. Okay,
I'll try to do that tomorrow. Get right on it.
okay. We have no pending capital budget requests that we reviewed already. We do have a couple that I think Mike Maresco can present to us.
Yes, Mr. Chairman. First is warrant article number 5, which is the bond premium. Bond premium, as you know, is the VIG that we get when we go out to bid to sell the bonds. We're getting $185,000 on Beans and bond seal from July of 2020 to July of 2021. And that $185,000 is used for infrastructure repairs throughout town government.
Okay, so infrastructure repairs, is that in the sense, in the building end or?
Building end, so it'd be like, you know, if we need a door, wall, masonry, plaster, painting, glass replacement.
Would that go in that maintenance, the 500,000?
It doesn't go in May, it stays, it's a separate segregated account because it's bond premium money.
Sure.
Okay, makes a lot of sense. It's nice to have
It
some
is,
money to make some
actually.
repairs. Anybody else have any questions on that?
No.
I'd like to take a vote. All those in favor of the $185,000 income from bonds?
Yes.
Aye.
Aye, all in
Great.
favor?
All right, Mike.
And thank you.
Mr. Town.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Last one is Article 35. Article 35 is the big article. Article 35 is to close the gap on the DPW capital project. So everyone knows town meeting back in November of 2019 passed a $49.9 million debt exclusion for building police station, the 12,000 square foot addition to the senior center, 3.5 million in seawalls, and the DPW facility. So we went out to bid each project. Senior center was fine, police was very challenging. In fact, we're still waiting for roofing materials and stuff to come in. DPW had to make a couple of modifications. They've had a couple of different design changes. You know, we had Sean here, Sean left, and then Tom came back, Tom made some adjustments. And, you know, when you're working, PMA is our project manager, they're bidding jobs all the time. And the prices kept going up and up and up, which means DPW had to keep making the project modifications to make it smaller to work within the budget. They had $18,650 to spend on their project.
18,650.
$18,650,000. So you had to subtract out of that the I don't have my notes, we paid about 4.75 for that building. They put about 900,000 into to bring it up to code, the new location, and they're there. They also, in order to do the police station, we had to tear their building down, which means they had to rent modular office space because they couldn't accommodate everyone in that building until they built their final phase. And then they had to have storage to run some of their shops and other things, so we went out to bid, the project came back, it's, with their add alternates, they're about $1.8 million shy of what they need, so in order to close the gap, we've committed, when I say we, the Board of Selectmen, have committed to $500,000 in free cash and $1.3 million, $10,000 from their retained earnings, which breaks out by, because they gave us how they want to break it out, $589,500 from water retained earnings, $458,500 from wastewater, and $262,000 from solid waste retained earnings. The reason we agreed to the 500 is because they did have to incur some additional cost, you know, for their rental of equipment and stuff like that, and the duration. The remainder of the cost, depending on what they want, it doesn't make any sense to go back a third time. Every time we go back and they make adjustments to the building, it's not as simple as just reducing the size. Everything gets reduced: the plumbing, the electric, the gas. So you're talking in the vicinity of about $250,000, plus cost of goods are going up anywhere from 6 to 10% on the total cost per year. So,
Can I stop you for a
yes,
second?
you can.
Mike? So, I know I toured the building right when we purchased the new building. In addition, you tore down the old barn and all of that. And you spent $900,000 on bringing it up to code and making it.
Painting, refreshing.
That's just the offices though.
Right,
Yes.
the offices. So what you're talking about now is behind the police station building a barn?
No, it's
No.
right up the
So
street
it's
where
a
they are.
property where they are?
Where they are. So
Okay.
DPW, in order to help get the cost down too, they've also done the land prep. They've done they've done trenches for the gas line. They work with the gas company, electric, to get the conduit out there.
Mhm.
So the additional dollars will cover the size of the building they need. I think it's approximately 28,000 square feet. They wanted something bigger. They had hoped, their original plan 2 years ago was to get all of their equipment inside. And as costs kept going up, it was getting a smaller and smaller, but they'll still be able to accommodate a substantial amount of their vehicles inside. They want to get them out of the year because there's such a high salt content here. And so they bid it with the add alternates. The add alternates like an overhang for them to work on the vehicles, and some interior changes that they wanted.
Doesn't the existing building have a huge garage in it?
It has 3 bays, but they're small. It's not what they,
Right,
Can
so they have the
use.
voting.
Huh?
It's right where the voting thing was.
where the voting thing
Yeah,
was here, so
yeah.
it's really not
Yeah,
that
it's
big.
not big, no.
So they need a shop for signs, they need a couple of bays for regular car service, they need a bay for the heavy duty, they need a couple of bays for heavy duty trucks. There's a whole litany of services that they provide, and they need storage for all of their lawn equipment and for the big vehicles. Basically, probably, 50% of that new building would be garage.
We saved on, because we bought the existing building instead of what was originally planned for a town meeting, right? So that
But I
1.8
think
is
we
now
saved the
over
cost.
now.
The cost, yeah, there's,
So,
And we saved on, in the beginning,
Yeah.
we saved on,
and now we're.
but
kinda catching up
they
again.
still have to build the facility to service and cover the garage part of it all. And with COVID, and Dean knows this very well, because he's trying to build a house.
Yeah, I do
The
know.
prices of everything
we-
went sky
I
high.
heard the neighbor saying they're bidding
So just-
36 months out.
Oh, yeah, it's
on-
unbelievable.
On a type of paint and
Right.
shingle.
No, Bonnie, to get to your point, just so everyone knows, we absolutely did, we saved $17 million on the cost borrowing, so that's not being affected whatsoever.
Right,
So that 17 million, 13 million 13 million of it was because of the great bond rating that we had when we went to bond. The average is 2 cents on the dollar. And the other 4.5 million was bond premium money that came from that capital bond project, and we put that right back in. So the taxpayer, so what does that mean? So a taxpayer that lives in a $450,000 house will save over the 30-year note, will save $1,000. So that's what they say. Now, the cost,
But to bring Rick up to
Yeah.
speed, did this come up at the last meeting? Do you know what this is about?
No.
So the town voted to approve a huge project, overhaul the police station, DPW, senior center, and seawall. Those are the full
Correct.
massive building, if you've seen it driving by the police station, what they're working on. They went out, I think, I forget the parties, but it was before my time.
sure, you want me to go to why don't I do this?
Just real quick, just how they got the new
so,
building and saved money on
So
what
in
the original plan
November of
was.
2019, the town passed a $49.9 million debt exclusion, which would build us a new police station, a 12,000 square foot addition onto the senior center, about a $20 million police station, an $18 million DPW facility, and $3.5 million seawall match for future grants from the state. And the senior center's just about done, substantially completed, October 26th. Police station's expected to be substantially completed March 22nd, thereabouts. And DPW, we hope to get, if this article passes, if 35 passes at town meeting, the selectmen will be able to sign the contract. They've already gone out to bid, so we have the bids. Can't sign the contract until the money's in place, because the day you sign the contract, under state law, the money and the funds have to be available. So this passes, they sign it, and then they begin to ramp up. And if it's a favorable winter, they'll be able to get in and start to get the foundation and elevation and all the work that needs to be done to get the DPW done. And then it's about 14 months to get that project completed from when they start.
Okay.
The overall money spent in the entire package is at what, 47-something million dollars?
49.9.
49.9, and that's what we bonded on.
Correct.
Now,
the money-
what he's asking for now is not anything in addition to that. It's coming out of the general fund, which is the everyday tax operating fund for the town.
Yeah,
And
probably.
then there's 3 enterprise funds, which they earn from your water bill, the trash bill, and wastewater. So those funds have earnings in them, and what the DPW wants to do right now is to, with the selectmen's approval, is to allocate some of the money that's sitting in those accounts and putting it towards this project, which will close the gap for them in order to complete the project. And by doing that, there is no tax effect whatsoever to the town, townspeople. However, the question, what I'm gonna ask next is there anything, Mike, as far as Mr. Town Administrator? Mike and I are so friends, I'm always calling Mike, I apologize,
Chairman,
I'm
it's fine.
sorry.
Michael's fine, sir, no
Okay,
problem.
thank you. But, so the question I ask is, with any of our trash, water, or sewage bills going to go up next year because of this?
They shouldn't have to. What they're gonna do is they're making some internal changes on how they fund things. There are some things that they would have normally be spending out of some of these accounts. For instance, water repairs, water mains, SCADA system, things like that, that we're gonna be looking to use ARPA funds on. So that will free up so that there's not an effect to the ratepayers. So right now with this, the way this Article 35, what it does is, and the chairman did a good job, doesn't affect the taxes, we didn't have to go back to town meeting and get additional funds. We're using funds that are already in the system. We're using $500,000 worth of free cash. And then the rest of the money comes from the retained earnings. And to make it palatable, they'll move stuff around. They'll delay some things that will need to be repaired. we'll work with them to come up with some other funding sources, like using ARPA fund and water-related projects.
Because Patrick Del Russo, I think, mentioned at the last meeting that our taxes probably weren't going up, we were actually staying.
Well, they won't
the
go
same
up
rate,
to
won't
this,
go
but
up.
this will be, yeah,
So that
taxes,
would be-
well, taxes will be high now because everything's hitting on the first one, and then each year of the 30 years it goes down. On the
So,
portion of what we're paying for this note, the 49.9.
right, this is a temporary tax where the town voted it in. It only goes till we pay off the bond.
30 years of debt exclusion is.
Right, a
30
debt
years.
exclusion. So once that happens, we don't have to pay that. It's an additional, so you pay your regular tax line, and then above it, there's the school, and then there's this project. Now, the school has been going on for a while, so that's gonna be coming off, what, 5, 10 years from now? What? It's gonna be
Yeah, I would say because that was a 20-year note, we're probably, 17.
10
Yeah, we're
years.
probably 10 years, we're already halfway
Yeah,
into
so
that.
we're halfway through that.
And that's a debt exclusion.
And that's a debt exclusion, which now comes off,
Okay.
which is a good thing.
Overrides are
Override,
forever. Debt
right,
exclusion,
right.
term of the note.
Okay.
right, that's what we, yeah, exactly. Anybody else have any questions?
Well,
or-
just so the money that they're using, that they're taking from now, you're saying that there's no opportunity cost there, because it's gonna, the ARPA funds are gonna,
Well, we'll use ARPA, they'll have to delay some things, there'll be trade-offs, everything's a
Okay,
trade-off.
right.
Yeah, but there's no additional tax. We're not using additional tax dollars, we don't have to go back to town meeting and do another override, debt exclusion, or anything like that. So it'll be funded within the budgetary scheme, 500,000 from free cash, and then using retained earnings.
okay.
And the 500,000 for free cash coming out of the town's general fund is not gonna hurt the town.
No, because we'll be getting it's not certified yet, but we'll have plenty of funds certified for free cash because we are very effective in managing the town budget.
Okay. Anybody else have any questions?
Nope.
Okay.
All right, hearing that, I put it to a vote. All those in favor of passing the additional funding for
Article 35.
Article 35, DPW building? So aye.
Aye.
Thank you, everyone.
Okay. Is there, town administrator, do you have any other additional
I
information?
don't have anything else.
Okay, anybody else have any thing here? No? Well, I like it when it's easy, as far as only 2 things. I appreciate everybody's effort this year, and I really like to say, Michael, you made it, since you've been in the town administrator, you made this job a lot more clearer and defined, and when you bring figures in, it's really, we understand a lot better. Thank you.
Well, thank you, Mr. Chairman, and thank you for everyone giving up their time and being here because it's a very important committee, and we enjoy working with the committee.
Great. So I'm looking for a motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn?
Second?
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Cool.
Excellent. And